Indian Land, South Carolina just got a new $400 million development, and it's going to make your suburban dreams come true with stores like Lowe's Foods, Costco, and Super Target. Add into that about 700 residential units, and you won't have to drive everywhere to get everything you need. When you see how this will change property values and even traffic flow, you'll understand everything you need to know. We're talking about the Exchange in Indian Land, and let's break it down. First, let me show you exactly where this is happening and why location matters so much. The Exchange sits at the intersection of Highway 521, aka Charlotte Highway, and Possum Hollow Road. It's really valuable real estate, and it sits about 4 miles south of the North Carolina state line along the Highway 521 corridor. About 29,700 cars pass this location every single day, and the development has access to major employers in the area, including Red Ventures, Continental Tire, and Movement Mortgage. This site is paired with the Crossridge next door, which hosts the YMCA and the Super Target, which creates a real hub of activity rather than just an isolated shopping center. We'll talk about Crossridge and Super Target in just a few minutes. But before we dive into specific retailers coming here, you need to understand the total scope of what's being built, because this goes way beyond 1 or 2 stores. All right, so the scale of this thing is huge, and it'll show you what a game changer this is for Indian Land. The $400 million investment makes this one of the largest private developments in Lancaster County history, and the project spans over 130 acres of mixed-use development executed in multiple phases running through 2026. And stick around, because I'll tell you what we already know about this. The residential component alone will have over 700 units, including 400 apartments units, and Taylor Morrison is building 320 townhomes as a part of the project as well. On the retail side of things, the Exchange will have over 115,000 square feet of retail space with over 799 parking spots for the major retailers. This project will have both short-term and long-term job creations. The short-term will be the construction jobs required to build the project, and the long-term will create permanent jobs in retail, healthcare, and service sectors, with Costco, Target, and other retail tenants adding employees in restaurants, shops, and services. So let's back up and give you the timeline for the whole project. In 2022, FCP and Crossland Southeast announced their partnership and had a groundbreaking. In early 2024, the first apartments were delivered, and in October of 2025, both Lowe's Food and Costco hosted their grand openings. Now, by the summer of 2026, all of the final retail spaces are expected to be leased, and the restaurants will reach completion as well and be open to the public. So we're talking about a concentration between 2022 and 2026, and that build out is showing the results right now. So let's talk about the biggest anchor tenants. First, we have Lowe's Foods. Lowe's Foods addresses a pretty big gap in Indian Land for grocery services with a 50,000 square foot full service grocery anchor tenant. This brings a premium grocery shopping straight to Indian Land residents, and the format will be full service grocery with prepared food, bakery, deli, and pharmacy, adding to the growing employment pool, much like a lot of the other things in the area. But Lowe's isn't the only major grocery player entering Indian Land. And before we talk about the next big anchor tenant, if you want to stay ahead of Charlotte's biggest market updates, hit that subscribe button now. And if you're serious about buying or investing around here, shoot me a message. My team and I have closed over $100 million in real estate this year, and we know exactly which developments will move the needle on your property value. And if you're enjoying our content about new things coming to the area, you'll definitely want to subscribe to our weekly newsletter in the description below. Every week we send updates on new development and things that are happening in the area, from restaurants opening and big developments like this one. Okay, so let's talk about Costco. This is literally huge news, and you'll see why. The Costco spans 162,100 square feet. And to put that in perspective, this facility is bigger than the average Costco warehouse of only 147,000 square feet. Costco purchased that land for $6.4 million for the 27.9 acre site. It also features a 24 pump fueling station with diesel and gas options and 799 parking spots. The Indian Land location fills a massive coverage gap in the growing southern Charlotte suburbs. It serves Lancaster County's over 115,000 residents, plus the broader markets of Fort Mill, Rock Hill Corridor, as well as Union County. And the service area covers about a 5-mile radius with 100,000 plus residents. And there's one more major retailer in this story that creates unprecedented retail density. So Target isn't technically part of the Exchange, but the timing matters pretty big. And I mean something big. Target opening in October of 2025 in the Crossridge Center, which is next to the Exchange, features a 149,000 square foot Target. That is just less than a half mile from the Costco, and is part of a 4-phase development called the Crossridge Center. The Target location alone will employ around 170 people. One of the coolest things about this Target that was very evident as soon as it opened is the stores within the stores. In addition to the expanded grocery, it also has the CVS, pharmacy, Starbucks, and Disney's inside the store. And that's part of Target's plan to build over 300 locations in the next decade. The thing is, the simultaneous opening of Target and Costco within weeks of each other has created this exceptional retail density in Indian Land. So you've got these 3 massive retailers all opening in the same month within a 2-mile radius, and that's an incredible transformation, and there's even more to it. This retail boom doesn't exist in a vacuum. There's major infrastructure work happening to support it. All right, so let's talk about what Lancaster County is trying to do to handle this new traffic and growth. The first thing that they've done is said, hey, we're going to widen Highway 521. Lancaster County is pursuing a $125 million initiative to expand Highway 521 from 4 lanes to 6 lanes over a 7.5-mile stretch. The county is also seeking $40 million in state grants, and there's a potential increase in sales tax with a referendum on the ballots this fall for funding. This project is essential to handling the projected traffic increases from these major retailers. 2 immediate changes have already been put in place. New traffic lights at Possum Hollow Road and Highway 521, plus Creekbed Road and 521, and both of those have already opened. And with all of this infrastructure creates people, which creates the need for services. So now there's a new $300 million MUSC, that's Medical University of South Carolina, Health Indian Land Medical Campus, and it's under construction right next door. So here's the healthcare timeline. 52-bed hospital scheduled to open in late 2027, and a 62,000 square foot medical office building, which is going to open in 2026. This project will create lots of healthcare, additional construction jobs across all phases, and this creates the healthcare employment hub right next to a retail and residential area. So beyond the Exchange's residential units, let's look and see what else is already coming. First, there's Redstone Phase 2 with 350 apartments and 20 townhomes, plus 24,000 square feet of retail completing in 2026, and Sugar Creek Communities around 775 total homes across multiple builders on a 377-acre property. So we're talking about a complete area transformation with residential, retail, and healthcare all coming online at the same time. But here's what actually matters most to the people considering Indian Land. How will daily life change? Let me give you a little taste of the before and after. Before the Exchange, Indian Land residents routinely drove to Charlotte, Rock Hill, or Fort Mill for warehouse clubs like Costco or Sam's, premium grocery shopping, major retail purchases, bulk household goods, and fuel at competitive prices. After the Exchange, residents will have great access to shopping within a 2-mile radius. Costco for bulk groceries, household goods, electronics, tires, pharmacy, and fuel. Lowe's Foods for premium grocery, prepared foods, and specialty items. Target for general merchandise, groceries, pharmacy, and of course, that pumpkin spice latte. Plus additional retail, including future restaurants, services, banking, and medical office. You're eliminating a 30 to 50 minute round trip driving for basic errands. The Exchange transforms Indian Land from a residential suburb into a complete community in and of itself. Mixed-use design is allowing residents to walk to shopping in a lot of cases, which actually creates a better sense of community and even a higher quality of life. Indian Land is one of the fastest-growing suburbs of Charlotte, and the Exchange projects to impact over 5% of the annual population growth. So hold that thought, because I'll tie it into real estate in just a minute. When you look at the connectivity, pedestrian connection between residential and retail is something this area has not really had before. When you pair that with centralized parking servicing multiple uses, including restaurants and cafe spaces for community gathering, and easy integration with the adjacent YMCA and recreational facilities, this is going to be a pretty big deal. And experts have actually projected that the concentration of major retailers in one area will actually reverse traffic flow issues. So people from surrounding Charlotte suburbs like Ballantyne and Marvin will be driving to Indian Land rather than Indian Land residents driving other places. Now, what does that mean for real estate values and market dynamics? All right, if you're buying, selling, or investing in Indian Land, here's what those developments mean for you. Looking at July 2025 data, the median sale price hit $505,000, staying pretty stable despite rising inventory. Days on market actually decreased from about 50 to 40 days, and housing inventory has increased in July of 2025, up about 4.8% from June to about 371 properties. So we're headed to a more balanced market with new inventory popping up, but the terraces and exchange townhomes have been almost all pre-sold before completion. On the commercial side of things, land value on 521 corridor has reached approximately $400,000 an acre. So this demand is very strong. And from what we're hearing, there is additional retail and restaurant inquiries from surrounding sites on the exchange. Potential tenants include dental offices, coffee shops, banks, and possibly even a nice steakhouse. And all of this population increase that we've been talking about will shape the area for the future. Major national home builders, including Taylor Morrison, KB, and Ryan Homes, are expanding operations in Indian Land, and new developments are now required to include retail or commercial components. And they're anticipating new home prices start around $395,000 to $400,000. Overall, we see a mix between medium and long-term value creation here, but with all the new stuff opening right now, the clock for investors is already ticking. And as we're going to press on this topic, Lancaster County leaders have voted to impose a 9-month moratorium on new residential projects in a rapidly growing area, the 521 corridor. This moratorium will prohibit processing permits and applications for new residential subdivisions and developments in specified areas, including the Panhandle or the Highway 521 corridor and rural areas between the Catawba River and Riverside communities. County officials have cited explosive growth as the primary reason for the pause. Lancaster County has experienced approximately a 60% growth rate between 2000 and 2020, gaining almost 20,000 new residents, according to the county's 2040 comprehensive plan. The Panhandle saw a 476% growth rate during that period, making it one of the fastest growing regions in the entire area. But residents have started to express concerns about this fast growth. One saying, "We can't build all of these wonderful businesses that we love to support, but then leave 2 lanes on each side. Now the commute that used to take 30 minutes is taking 45, and it's soon to be 60. In the past 5 years alone, the county's Development Services Division has received requests for more than 3,470 townhome lots, 2,050 single-family lots, and more than 2,830 apartments. So yes, Indian Land's growth has absolutely outpaced its infrastructure, and the pause is probably a good thing to allow that infrastructure to catch up. So the bottom line is that Exchange at Indian Land and the Crossroads developments go way beyond retail. This is literally a new suburban downtown that basically erases the need for people to travel elsewhere for their daily and routine needs. If you're considering Indian Land for your next home or real estate investment, or understanding how developments like these impact your property values or quality of life, it's a critical thing. Send me a message today at info@jwhitegroup.com and we'll figure out which neighborhood makes the most sense for you. My team and I have over 20 years of experience in the Charlotte market, and we've been closely checking out projects just like this, so we can definitely help you. But hey, don't leave just yet. We've got another video linked right here where we're covering everything new or coming soon to the Charlotte area. You'll want to watch that video to get a bigger picture of what's going on in our market. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.